Greetings. I'm Dr J Papu, the president of the Cape Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The year 2019 is almost coming to an end, but the pain, the sorrows, the joys, and accomplishments will remain as a reminder that indeed 2019 was here. We started the year with high hopes and fervent anticipation, and not all has been gained, and of course not all has been lost. It is crucial for us to ensure that we have enough energy and zeal to face the dawn of the new year and also to face the uncertain future. The words penned about a century ago still ring true, and I quote, "We have nothing to fear for the future except as we shall forget how the Lord has led us and is teaching in our past history." Indeed, our memory of the known will be the fuel that will propel us to the reality of the unknown. The year is about to end, and this year is littered with painful and sad memories. We have every reason to want to forget our past as we move into the future. We have witnessed in our country terrible incidents of xenophobic attacks. We have assumed that this was behind us. It seems as if our national and cultural differences supersede our common ancestry. Incidents of gender-based violence continue to beat relentlessly against our souls, leaving behind a wreckage of families in distraught and bewilderment. Men are becoming a terror to women and children. Looking at the statistics, one can rightly say that we are a country at war with itself. As if that is nothing, the Zondo Commission continued to reveal shocking revelations of how far our country has sunk in the pit of corruption. Trusted institutions, people in high positions, have betrayed the national trust bestowed upon them. If crime and corruption were an indication of growth, our country would be the richest in the world. It is difficult to reconcile these sad events with the statistics that show a country of close to 80% of professing Christians. It is no wonder that nature seems to have embarked on a go slow and the downing of its natural tools in protest against these social evils. Cries of discomfort due to the scorching heat wave have become an unwelcome song in some parts of our country. The heavens have consistently refused to bless us with the needed rain, resulting in very low levels of water in our dams. The long drawn-out drought in most areas continues unabated, and yet in the midst of this drought, we see in the same country families displaced, houses and roads destroyed by the torrential rains that have resulted in destructive floods. One can understand the euphoria that blanketed our country when Siyakolisi and the boys successfully and convincingly fought against the odds and brought the Webb Ellis Trophy to our South African shores. Hope once more again began to pulsate in our hearts, and the message was very clear. United by a common purpose, doing the best we can rise as a nation and conquer all formidable enemies. This was evident in the story of Mlinganiso, a campus security guard who graduated with a high certificate in business at the Nelson Mandela University. He reports that he worked during the night and studied during the day. What drove him is the following statement, and I quote, "There will be no uneducated person in my home." The crowning of Sozibini as Miss Universe has also placed our country on the map. We were reminded in the midst of sorrow and ugliness that we have witnessed that there is beauty to be celebrated in our country. And this was aptly illustrated once more by the story of a petrol attendant, Kosikom Bele, who helped a stranded motorist with 100 Rand worth of petrol, and more than 1 million was raised by South Africans as a reward to this kind gesture. The survey by the South African Reconciliation Board reflects a high percentage of people who are positive about our country and believe in racial unity and think that it is possible. In November, we witnessed the beautiful scenes of FNB filled to capacity by people from all walks of life, including politicians, brought together by one thing and one thing only, and that is prayer. We are, after all, human beings created in the image of God, and as such, we cannot be written off. Doing church in South Africa, I'm convinced, can never be the same again. Time has come for the church to do church where people can be found, rather than just call people to the church. If Jesus is the answer to our cries, those who follow him cannot be anything less. We have seen our young people in the year 2019 involved in the community, helping to build houses for those who are homeless. Adventist women have also been involved in spreading love and hope by distributing love packs to needy communities. Adventist men in the various men's conferences and rallies have also publicly committed themselves to be the model of the ideal men that our society craves for. Families have been nurtured through family ministries run by our church, through events and programs that were conducted through the year. Meals on Wheels has done its part, not only pushing the frontiers of hunger, but skilling communities to face the tough times ahead. The church, through the commitment of its pastors and dedicated laity, has continued to inject hope into an almost hopeless humanity. There are those, in spite of the economic woes, who have consistently supported the church, especially with their financial resources. God's blessings are more for the givers than for the receivers. Our faithfulness to God's mission has not gone unnoticed. The Lord has indeed seen us through all the difficulties of this year, and with high expectations, we look forward to 2020. We have buried and married and baptized many during the course of the year. The mission of our church, as reflected in Matthew 28, is to make disciples of nations and tribes. We are happy to announce that the conference, in collaboration with the union and the division, has set aside sufficient resources to support social programs, spiritual programs that will bring hope in the 3 targeted towns in our conference, that is Cape Town, Mthatha, and Kimberley. We therefore appeal to our members, especially in these areas, to roll up their sleeves and be part of the efforts of bringing hope and relief to these communities. Our mission is not just to improve the world, but to bring it to an end. This gospel must be preached to all the world for the end to come. That's according to Matthew 24. This is what separates the church from any social organization. The church is God's only hope for the dying world. The question we can ask ourselves is, have we as a church stayed on course? Compromise, complacency, and the courting of the world by the church are a constant threat that is facing us. As a church, we are supposed to be like a city on a hill, the light and the salt of the earth. Let us rise and be the church we are meant to be. We need to soldier on, march forward. The end is in sight. Let me also celebrate with those who have experienced success in their studies and their different endeavors, and hope that they will strive even further to reach their dreams in 2020. Those who may have failed in their aspirations and in their endeavors in 2019 should remember that failure is only temporal. May they not fail to try again. Lastly, the crazy season is upon us. Let us end the year strong. The new year is on its way. We cannot begin well if we do not end well. The divine hand that saw us through 2019 is ready to guide us as we enter the new and the uncertain year of 2020. Let us drive safely, obey the traffic rules, and let's remember the poor in our midst as we celebrate and participate in wholesome festivities. Happy festive season. Let me close by echoing the words of the old apostle, "Even so, come Lord Jesus." And may 2020 be the year when we will realize this blessed hope. I thank you.